a location-based tool called Geofencing allegedly allowed government officials in Santa Clara County, California, to spy on congregants to a church that ended up getting slapped with over $1 million in fines for supposed COVID violations. So joining us now to discuss updates to that case is Maria Gondero, the Vice President of and Legal Counsel for Advocates for Faith and Freedom. Maria, thanks for being here tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Great. So I believe I talked to, I want to say it was like August of last year or sometime around then, but has there been any updates to this case as of now?
Yes, this is a long saga. So regarding our geofencing lawsuit, the court has actually decided to wait. We have the appeal regarding the fines at the Ninth Circuit right now. And so the judge in the geofencing lawsuit wants to wait for the Ninth Circuit to rule before he allows that lawsuit to go forward. There's a lot of complexities with this case. There's different court actions that are ongoing. But right now, the next big development will be arguing at the Ninth Circuit April 12th, and then once the decision is made, then things will start to move forward.
You know, I can only imagine how many moving pieces, like you said, are involved with this. I believe the church, Calvary Chapel, San Jose. But can you explain for us what exactly the geofencing is and how congregants were basically being spied on, despite our constitutional rights against such measures?
Yeah, so what geofencing is, it allows governments to basically put a virtual bound around a specific area, and then they are able to basically track the cell phone users who are going in and out of that virtual bound using their location data on their cell phones. And this is actually an issue that has not really been addressed by the courts because it's so new. And that's why this case is so important, because precedent needs to be set, putting a stop to this use, especially when it's applied to a church. I mean, this is America. This isn't Soviet Russia. It's absolutely mind-boggling.
It really is. And now it seems that Santa Clara County officials, that they seem to be relying on the fact that they're claiming this was done for research. And since it's research, they say it's not spying. Just because we're spying on you in the course of research, it's research. Is that how they're trying to split hairs to get away with what happened?
Oh, yes. They're saying it was for research purposes, but also because they had to see, you know, they claim that Calvary was just this dangerous super spreader. And so they had to figure out how many people were going in and out of the church. But this is such a slippery slope, because if it doesn't stop here, what doesn't stop the government for surveilling a rally or surveilling a gun store? It is very, very dangerous, and really just goes against our principles as Americans.
And now correct me if I'm wrong, but when they say research to know super spreading events and who's going where and, you know, all this, and like you said, it's a slippery slope, but I believe there were 0 cases of COVID directly tied to that church. Is that still true?
Yes, that is true. The county touted their amazing contract tracing system that they had, but that contract tracing system was not able to determine where COVID-19 cases were originating from, and there's a lot of factors at play that you know, mitigate the spread of COVID-19, and they just seem to be so focused in on this church. It doesn't make any sense at all.
You know, that was a problem with California just in general, that the churches were closed and the strip clubs were open. It's just an upside down world that we're living in. We see who's being persecuted. And of course, it's the church and it's the faithful. But when it comes to this geofencing tool itself, I believe it's a law enforcement tool, and it's supposed to be limited in scope. And there is typically supposed to be a warrant that goes with it, correct?
Absolutely. And that's one of the main arguments we raise is the church congregants were not suspected or criminals. That's when geofencing is typically used. It's usually to catch a crime.